Representative government and trial by jury are the heart and lungs of liberty. Without them, we have no other fortification against being ridden like horses, fleeced like sheep, worked like cattle, and fed and clothed like swine and hounds. This insightful quote is frequently attributed to John Adams, America's second president, and it really speaks to an urgent issue in modern America, a lack of representation. America's founders believed that people should be able to choose their own leaders. They also believed in ideas like limited government and government at the consent of the governed. They understood that America's real promise was one of self-governance, because self-governance is one of the most important rights that individuals have. But therein lies the problem, as California Governor Gavin Newsom, a self-proclaimed champion of democracy, works to deprive 41% of people in his state from meaningful representation in Congress. And that brings us to today's top story. Governor Newsom, in a move that clearly undermines every principle of democratic rule, signed off on a redistricting plan on Thursday, after Democratic lawmakers who hold supermajorities in the state assembly and Senate passed it. Now, this plan is designed to add 5 more Democratic seats to the House of Representatives right ahead of the midterm elections next year. And Newsom framed this bold measure as the Election Rigging Response Act, which is just laughable for so many reasons. But he even posted this image about it on X, saying, "It's official. California's special election is on for November 4th. The people of California will be able to cast their vote for a congressional map. Direct democracy that gives us a fighting chance to stop Donald Trump's election rigging. Time to fight fire with fire." Yeah, yikes. Those are very bold words coming from the guy who couldn't even fight fire with water when a series of devastating wildfires destroyed thousands of homes and buildings in Los Angeles County back in January. A point that my colleague Matt Gaetz made on X this week in direct response to Newsom's ridiculous and self-serving posturing. But ultimately, only time will tell whether or not this new plan is put into action. But either way, the motive behind it is perfectly obvious. See, this whole push comes just days after the Texas State Senate and Legislature approved its own redistricting plan that would add 5 Republican seats to Congress, which means this whole thing is about the balance of power in Washington. It's not about democracy. It's not about principle. It's not about bolstering the will of the people of California. It's just about power and politics. And here's the painful irony about Newsom's appeal to representation. See, California has 52 seats in the House of Representatives, the most of any state in the entire country. But only 9 of them are held by Republicans, even though roughly 41% of registered voters in California are Republicans. Nearly half of the state's residents are Republicans, and yet Democrats have supermajorities in the state assembly and the state senate, and in Congress. On top of it all, California's 2 U.S. senators are both Democrats, and every major city in the state is also run by Democrats, including Los Angeles, Oakland, San Diego, San Francisco, and even San Jose. But on that note, Newsom, who's very interested in becoming the president one day, clearly touted this plan at a press conference this week before the bill was passed. Let's hear what he had to say about it.
We'll be the first state in U.S. history to, in the most democratic way, submit to the people of our state the ability to determine their own maps. That simply has not been done. But I want to first just briefly back up and pick up a little bit on what the Speaker and the Pro Tem said, and just remind everybody what they reminded you that need to be reminded, all of us again, of how we got here. We got here because the President of the United States is struggling. We got here because the President of the United States is one of the most unpopular presidents in U.S. history. We got here because he recognizes that he will lose the election. Congress will go back into the hands of the Democratic Party next November. We got here because of his failed policies. Those are being exposed hour by hour, reinforced today by Walmart announcing they'll be raising prices because of the tax increases, because of the tariffs. Reminded every day by a slowing economy, growing mistrust, distrust all across this nation. Across the board, he is failing.
Once again, bold, bold words considering his own long list of policy failures. After all, it was Newsom who repeatedly talked about saving California's homelessness crisis for years and years, just to watch it get worse and worse over the course of many years.